Hello, hello, beautiful Business Alchemy Collective. It is Tash Ashwin here, and I'm super excited to be coming to you live today for the Unleash Your Inner Sales. So I'm just going to wait a couple of moments. We've got a lot of people who have joined into this group over the past couple of weeks. So I'm going to wait a couple of moments just for people to start jumping on. I have to say, hi Debbie, welcome darling. I have to say I've been feeling into and connecting with the energy of the Sales Queen heaps over the past couple of weeks. Hi Melissa, welcome. Hi Maya, welcome. So I've been feeling into and connecting with the energy of the Sales Queen a lot over the past probably month or so as I've been really downloading this challenge, downloading everything that I've been wanting to cover, and really the energy of accessing the inner Sales Queen. And I have to say, I don't think I have had so much fun in my business in the past couple of weeks, or as I have in the past couple of weeks. This beginning of 2020 have really launched into the energy of the Sales Queen. Hi Jess, hi Jana, welcome. And I'm so excited to be delivering this training with you today because my God, she is a freaking powerhouse. She is an absolute powerhouse. And I'm really, really, really thrilled. As you can see, I'm wearing this color that I would never usually wear. I have had this shirt in my cupboard for a very long time. And, you know, I was connecting with her. What am I going to wear today? And red roses. And this is the energy of the Sales Queen. This is how she feels for me. She feels really, really lush. She feels really powerful. She's not afraid to stand in all of her glory. And she's really not going to be toning herself down to accommodate. So I'm just going to be jumping in here to make sure that I am not missing anyone's comments. So day one. First of all, welcome everyone for those of you who are just joining in now. Let me know, have we got audio okay? It's very hot here, so I have a fan in the background. Let me know if you can hear the fan or not. I'm hoping that you can't, that there's no, thanks Ness, hoping that there's no windy sounds. And today I'm very excited to dive into the first session of the Unleash Your Inner Sales. I've said awaken. Oh yes, day one, awaken your sleeping Sales Queen. So essentially what I wanted to do, I'm just going to give you a little overview of what I have planned for us to cover over the next week or 5 days. And I really want to welcome you all into this space, welcome you into the container that is the Business Alchemy Collective, and especially the container for awakening your Sales Queen and awakening your sleeping Sales Queen. And this is a real key here because she's an archetypal energy. You know, we've got so many different archetypal energies. I'm going to be talking a fair bit about Carl Jung today, and he was actually the first person to come up with this term archetype. So for those of you who don't know, I'm sure the majority of you here have an understanding of what archetypes are. Essentially, they're collective energies. And the Sales Queen, I've discovered, is a collective energy that sits and resides in every entrepreneur. Whether sales comes easily to us or not, we all have the energy of the Sales Queen. And I know we have Andrew. He's our only man in this challenge. So Andrew, I'm just going to say, you let me know if you want to call your Sales Queen a queen or a king. But this is the energy of the Sales Queen is an energy that resides within all of us. And it's an energy that is completely untapped, and we over the next 5 days are going to be really breathing life into the Sales Queen, which means there's a few things that we have to do in order to do that. So today is all about uncovering and clearing the number one thing that keeps your Sales Queen dormant. We can't dive into any of the powerful activation work until we've done this. This is a really powerful clearing that we're going to do today around this particular thing. I'm going to talk about it in a second, that really holds your Sales Queen back. It keeps her energy bound. It keeps her silent. It keeps her asleep. So I'm going to be looking at my notes as well. All right, we've got a few comments. Hi everyone. Hi Julie. Hi Steph. Welcome. So what I really want to invite you guys to do over the next 5 days is to bring this energy of light curiosity, okay? We're not making this heavy or serious. This is light. This is curious. The energy of the Sales Queen is very powerful, but it's also very playful. So I really want to invite you all to set that intention, to bring that into the space for you. We are going to be journeying today into the depths, the realms of the shadow. So once again, the energy of light curiosity is a really powerful one to delve into the shadow with, okay? What we're going to be doing over the next week or the next 5 days, we're going to be really looking at sales shame and sales sabotage, and we're going to be bringing this energy of light curiosity in. We're going to be really allowing it to be there. We're going to be bringing our sales queen to meet these energies of sabotage and shame. And we're going to be noticing what happens to that, to sales sabotage and to sales shame, when our inner sales queen is activated, when we have opened up the channel for her to be present, when we've breathed fresh life into her. So essentially what we're doing here is we're going to be birthing a new sales paradigm through the inner sales queen. And I'm super, super excited to be taking you through this powerful journey. So I just want to say before we really get started is, you know, like everything, the more you put into this challenge, the more you're going to get out. I have found that time and time again, the more I participate, the more I contribute into a Facebook group, if there's a challenge or it's a course that I've joined, that has a direct correlation with the outcomes that I receive. So I really want to invite you, as we're going to be awakening the sales queen, to allow yourself to give yourself permission to shine, to give yourself permission to speak up, to be seen, to show your face, to jump on Facebook Live. We're going to be talking about this, about the power of showing your face, of showing your video, or showing your face on video, of sharing your message. And this is going to be a really safe space. For though there might be some of you for whom this is still really nerve-wracking, probably for some of you, you're perfectly okay with going live. But my experience is that the more we do it, the more we really teach our nervous system that it's safe for us to be seen, it's safe for us to expose ourselves, it's safe for us to share our mission and our message. So this is a really beautiful opportunity for you guys to practice that, to lean into that. And I really invite you, your inner sales queen, when you open up the channel for her to be activated, she has no problem being seen. She has no fear about showing up and showing her face. She does it, it comes naturally to her. So the more you practice it, the more you allow her space to be here, the more you integrate her into your nervous system. So let me know if this is resonating with you guys. And then finally, before we dive into the real content of today, I really want to invite you guys to set an intention. To set an intention and to actually set a sales goal. So we're going to be really calling in some powerful magic over the next 5 days. And in order to do that, you know, it's one thing to call in the magic, it's one thing to set the intention, it's one thing to, you know, get aligned with our energetics and our mindset, and it's another thing entirely to actually take consistent, strategic, aligned action, which is what I believe we need to take. You know, we can do all of the mindset work in the world, and if not taking action, it means nothing. And the flip side is true as well. We can have the best strategy in the world, but if we're not aligned in our energetics, if our nervous system isn't you know, activated and aligned for visibility and for wealth and success, and if we haven't primed our neurology, primed our mind for wealth and success and visibility, then doesn't matter how amazing the strategy is, doesn't matter how much you're paying for a business strategist, you're not going to actually implement it, or you're not going to implement it as effectively as you can. So all of my work is pretty much about bringing alignment between these 3 areas. So between your energetics, your nervous system and your energetic bodies, your chakra system, your mind, so doing the mind priming work within your subconscious so that you're really priming your mind for success and for wealth, and in taking the appropriate strategy, taking action, taking aligned action, taking consistent action. Consistency and dedication is the word. Dedication is actually one of my words for 2020. The other one is trust. So for those of you who show up daily, who implement, who share using the hashtag ISQ challenge, which is the hashtag we're going to use for the Inner Sales Queen challenge, for those of you who really practice this and embody this, you actually go into the running to win a free 75-minute Inner Sales Queen activation session with me, which is a really, really powerful combination of energetic mindset and strategy work. So it's a beautiful incentive for you all. Alrighty, and before we do that as well, I invite you guys to actually jump into the comments and to let me know what's your intention. Okay, I know lots of you who have joined into the Business Alchemy Collective in the past few weeks have told me like where you're really struggling. So I want to invite you, Where are you struggling in your business? What's your intention for this challenge? What's your intention for sales in your business, for how you want sales to feel, for how you want money and creating wealth and abundance to feel? And if you're up for it, I'm also going to invite you to set a sales goal. So by the end of Friday, how much money would you absolutely love to have made in your business? Because we're going to be really challenging that in a really powerful way. Jessica, the timing of this challenge is perfect. I'm so thrilled. Hi, Dania. Hi, Leanne. So in the comments, what's your intention? And you don't need to, if you want to sit with this, that's totally okay. What's your intention? What's your sales goal that you'd love to be, with all of this juicy magic that we're brewing, that we're calling up at the moment, what's your sales goal that you'd like to be calling in by the end of Friday? All right, Donna, my intention is to clear the energy to allow my mindset to open up. Beautiful. I love that. And you've hit the nail on the head. Energy always first. Energy always first. Okay. So let me look at my notes. Okay, so today we are awakening the sleeping sales queen. Okay, and to do that, we need to uncover the one thing, the biggest thing that prevents her from awakening, that keeps her dormant, that keeps her asleep, and that keeps her energy from really impacting your business in a powerful way. And I gave a little hint before. What we're going to be talking about today is looking at and clearing what I call the sales shadow. The sales shadow. Okay, so for those of you who are not familiar with the shadow, as I mentioned before, Carl Jung, he came up with the concept of the archetypes. He also came up with the concept of the shadow. So the shadow is essentially a part of your subconscious where you put all of the things that you do not like, all of the things that you try to avoid, all of the things that you really despise in others, about other people, about the world, and also about yourself. It's like, I think of the shadow as like this cupboard in my subconscious that I shove all of that shit that I don't want to look at in. The thing with the shadow is that the more we deny it, the more we avoid it, the more we try not to think about it, the more energy we're actually giving it, the more power we're giving it. And your shadow stuff will always pop up, it'll bubble up in other areas in your life when you least expect it. The shadow actually has so much power. Our subconscious is responsible, I believe, for like 90% of our brain power. So if we don't have our mindset and our subconscious and our energetics on board with our business, with the idea of sales, with the concept of being visible, of making money, of speaking up, of sharing our truth, if we don't have all of this on board, then there's massive out of alignments that happen, and that contributes to all sorts of things in our business that has us not feel comfortable and confident to deliver on a sales call, to ask for the sale, to actually price our services effectively, to go on Facebook Live and invite people to work with you, to be really open in your energy about what it is that your mission is, right? This is a really massive energy drain, and it's an energy bind. It binds us right up like this. So before we activate the channel for the sales queen, we absolutely must release the sales shadow. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that is specifically. I'm just going to pause a little bit and have a read to be seen for my business. Beautiful. Okay, I love that. I love that. Hi, Jessica. I'd love to make my first 10K by the end of the week. It feels so palatable in my field. Yeah, it does. Melissa, my intention is to activate my NXT taking action mindset to make $2,000 by Friday. And so it is. I'm so excited to read these. Maya, my intention is to be confident to do lives and share what I do in a way that encourages women to work with me, which will then put beautiful money and divine compensation into my bank account. Jessica, I'd love my marketing, sales, and relationships with clients to ooze magical yes from all angles. Oh, doesn't that feel so juicy? I love it. I love it. And that's absolutely what's possible for you. Okay, so your sales shadow. Let me talk a little bit about what a sales shadow is. This is really powerful, especially if you come from the spiritual or the holistic space. I see this a lot in women. Well, I mainly work with women, but we have one man. I don't know if he's here today. I haven't seen him. But I see this a lot for my clients who specialize in the spiritual realm or who specialize in the holistic realm. Particularly if you're doing lots of, channeling work or connecting and letting divine energy flow through you, as we all kind of do in our own way, right? And so the sales shadow, what it is essentially, if you think about all of the things that people do in the name of sales that makes you go, yuck. Like the dodgy, sleazy car salesman, the big corporations that, just do everything and anything they can to make a buck. You can also call this the money shadow as well. And they've got slight different energies, but we'll bring both of them in. We'll call it the sales shadow, but you can do this with money too, because they're very, very interrelated. So it's essentially your judgments about the sales industry and the things that you hate about sales. The things that you hate about sales and the things that make you go, that is disgusting. I don't want to be like that. And often the shadow, what happens when we have a really strong sales shadow is we push all of that. We tie up our notion of sales into the sales shadow. So every time we try to build our business and sell in a way that feels really authentic, in a way that aligns with our values, unconsciously, we are collapsing that with our sales shadow. We're collapsing that with all of the gross things that people do out there in the name of sales. Collapsing that with all of the corporations who do evil things in the name of money and in the name of often of greed. So we really need to learn how to open up and look at our sales shadow and allow a bit of dialogue there and then release it. Because if we don't, what happens? We avoid sales, or we do it, we feel sales feels uncomfortable. We avoid money, we resist money, we collapse making money with being greedy. We collapse selling with being dodgy and sleazy. And there's no room for us to lean into our own authentic capabilities, to enroll people in your vision, in your mission, in working with you, which is how I see sales. And that's actually how your inner sales queen sees sales as well. She sees sales as a soulful process of enrollment with your people, with your soul clients. We're going to talk about that more tomorrow. But today, first we need to really learn how to how to integrate the sales shadow. So I'm just going to have a look. As I'm speaking about this, let me know what's coming up for you when you hear sales shadow. Does this resonate with you? Do you have a comprehension of what I'm talking about? Stephanie mentions generally be more comfortable, be more bold, confident talking about people. Natasha. My name is Natasha, so let me know how you pronounce yours. My intention is to show up live on videos without fear and to use my magic to call in ideal clients and customers. Amazing. Spot on. Okay, so the sales shadow is very powerful. And it has a massive impact on your business. It has a massive impact on your sales queen. Essentially, there is no room for your sales queen to be seen, to be heard, to flourish when we have an active and powerful sales shadow. So I think this is a pretty good time to segue into a process that I want to share with you guys today. One more, Ness. My intention is to step in, step up, and launch my business with confidence, knowing that I can do it. Yeah. By Friday, I'll have my online store up and running. I'm so excited for you, Ness. So the sales shadow process, this involves some visualization. Some of you may have done this with me before. Ness, you may have done this with me in a little bit of a slightly different way, but it's always powerful to revisit this through a different lens and, with a different intention. So, okay, Beck, this sits so well. I've been scared to ask for money in my healings because I'm new to it, but my soul knows it's been doing it for so long. And that's the thing, right? So when we have fear, and it's often fear of judgment or fear of criticism or fear of rejection when we have a big sales shadow, right? Because it's like, I don't want to put a big price tag on my offer. I don't want to sell because I'm worried that people are going to judge me as being sleazy, as being gross, as being pushy. All of these things that we can have collapsed up with sales, right? So let's sink our teeth into this and let's really powerfully clear it. So what I want to do with you guys is invite you, so we're going to do a visualization and then I'm going to take you through some tapping. I love tapping. It works with the energetics. It's so powerful. And then we're going to check in again and to see how's that starting to shift, okay? So the first thing what I want to do with you guys is to invite you to put your feet flat on the floor if they're not already. I'm going to put my feet flat on the floor because I'm sitting cross-legged. It's not very good for my energy flow. And I want to invite you just to put your hands on your knees or open up in your lap, and to take in a really big, beautiful breath. And just to really center yourself right now in the moment, and to allow yourself to meet your energy exactly where you are right now. And taking in another big deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And imagining that you've got lungs on the bottom of your feet, so that as you take a big, beautiful breath in, you're breathing up beautiful, dark, grounded earth energy. Coming up from the earth, beautiful, grounding earth energy that's going to ground your base chakra. It's going to really ground you presently in the moment. And then we're swinging our attention to the top of our head and imagining a trapdoor opening and extending our perception up through our crown chakra and setting the intention to connect in with our guides, to connect in with our ancestors, our star family, our higher self, and of course our inner sales queen, and allowing those beautiful energies of the earth and of the spirit realm to meet in our heart. And taking a big deep breath and just feeling and receiving that for one moment. And now I want you to imagine or sense or feel, whatever is more purposeful to you. Imagine a movie screen behind your eyelids. And on that movie screen, we're going to be visualizing or feeling or sensing someone or something that is the epitome of the dodgy, greedy, disgusting, salesy energy that we've been talking about. So this might actually be a person that you know. It doesn't have to be. It could be a person in the media. It could be a corporation. But bringing in the energy, this energy of what it is that you despise about the dark side, the shadow side of sales, the shadow side of money. And when you have this person or this entity or this corporation in mind, I want you to take a big deep breath and just notice, what does it do to your body, first of all? How does it make you feel? What does it do to your energy? As you're sitting in this visualization or feeling into this visualization, does it make your energy contract? Do you notice it in your belly or your heart or your shoulders or your jaw? Where do you feel it in your body? And now I invite you to allow yourself to be as judgmental as you possibly can about this person or this corporation. If you were to really, really judge them, and I mean like judge them in a really bitchy, judgy way, what would you say? What comes to mind? You might even like to write this in the comments. And I invite you to do so when you've really captured everything that you feel called to capture. What does it feel like? What's your judgment of them, of the corporation or this person? Gathering in as much information, as much feeling and sensory and information as you can, and opening up your eyes. And I invite you to pop it in the comments. What's your judgment? How do you judge this person or this corporation? And I'm going to be taking notes because I'm going to be crafting a tapping script from your words that we're going to work with today. So a lot of things that I hear are greedy. So I'll write down greedy, dodgy, pushy, doing things for the money, only think about the money. It's pretty intensive. Go to hell. Okay. And where do you feel that, Jess? Where do you feel that in your body when you are in that energy? Go to hell, right? This is the shadow that we're delving into, the shadow. So we're delving in a curious way. We're not bringing that in, like, we're not bringing that really intensive, heavy energy, but we're bringing that curiosity. Okay, what's there for me? What's in my shadow? Feeling pressured to purchase because they want a sale, not my best interest at heart. Pressure to purchase for the sale, not best interest. Selfish, self-centered, don't care about the clients. Hi, Crystal. Lovely to have you here. Self-centered. Just care about themselves, right? Manipulative. Thieves, untrustworthy, sneaky. Oh, Stephanie, you've got heaps here for me. Beautiful. Liar, no morals, no integrity. I can feel it right in my heart space. What else? There was another one in there. Sneaky, sleazy. Alrighty, so we've got some powerful words here, right? Pushy and elitist. And it's in the stomach. Heart, stomach. If anyone has another area that they feel it, let me know. And we'll bring that in as well. What does it feel like in your heart space? What does it feel like in your stomach? Let's get sensory. What does this actually feel like for you when you're connecting with the sales shadow? This is the part of sales, the greedy, the manipulative, they just do it for the money, right? So what does that do to your energetics? And I'm going to have some water. Let me know if there's anyone in here who hasn't done tapping before. I'm going to take you through the points that I use. I love tapping, especially for working through shadow stuff, but for moving energy, for moving belief systems, for rewiring neural pathways. It's a really, really tangible, practical, really easy and fast way to shift energy. And it's something that I do a lot with my clients, and it's something that I practice a lot for myself as well. Heavy in my stomach, knots in stomach, tight jaw. Tight jaw. Okay, cool. So I'll just quickly take you through the points, all right? If there's anyone here who hasn't done tapping before and anyone watching the replay, please hashtag replay. I should have said that at the beginning. So I like to do one hand and then swap to the other, all right? So the first one, the point here where the eyebrow hair meets the skin. Then the second is the corner of the eye. And then the third is under the eye. And we're tapping like 5 or 6 times lightly, and we'll be speaking at the same time. So I'll say a line, and then I want you to verbally actually speak it through your throat center. Under the nose, top of the chin. I won't mess with my lipstick. The collarbone or the gorilla points. Under the arm, and then top of the head, and then we swap to the other side, or you can do both sides at the same time. So let's just, before we dive into the tapping, I want you just to tune back into those feelings. Again, the knots in the stomach, the tightened jaw, the manipulative, the liars, the greedy. Out of 10, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how strong does this sensation feel for you? How strong does it feel? And just note, you can put it in the comments, or you can just make it on your, write it down somewhere in the comments if you like. And we're just going to dive straight into the tapping. I'm not going to do the setup point today. I'm just going to dive straight in, okay? And I'm going to be reading from my notes here. So I will say a line, and I invite you to say a line after. There they are. So greedy. And as you're like feeling this in your body, really allowing yourself to feel it. So dodgy. They're only doing this for the money. No integrity. It's not in my best interests, not in the best interests of their clients, certainly not in the best interest of the planet. So much pressure they're placing on everyone. Selfish. completely self-centered and manipulative, so damn greedy and sneaky and sleazy, absolutely no morals, absolutely no integrity, completely and utterly elitist. And I feel this in my jaw, this tightening in my jaw, this knottedness in my stomach, a constriction in my heart. Thinking about these people makes me so angry. It makes me want to scream, go to hell. Go to hell. You're just doing it for the money. Not for my best interests. You just care about yourselves. Completely dodgy and pushy and greedy. And I am absolutely right about that. Because I judge them. And I'm right about judging them. So manipulative. So sneaky. These people and their ways. These people and the way that they sell, the way they make money. Disgusting. And I'm just going to honor that. Just going to honor and acknowledge all of that. Okay. So, closing down your eyes once again, taking a big deep breath. And just feeling, first of all, how do you feel in your body? Noticing if there's been any sort of shift energetically. Where were you on that scale of 1 to 10 before? Where do you feel you are now? And I want you to bring up this picture once again, or this feeling or sense of this personal corporation that you thought of before that epitomizes the dodgy, gross parts of sales that you dislike. And I want you to notice, how does it feel when you look at this now? Okay? Are there any other insights that you have? Any other insights about your relationship with sales? Anything that you are restricting within yourself because you're maybe afraid of coming across that way? As dodgy or pushy or greedy? What are you noticing? And I invite you to let me know in the comments. So let's have a little conversation. I'll have to come back. No worries, darling. Let me know, what are you feeling after doing that first round of tapping? How does it feel for you for this second time you're visualizing? Because we're about to see some pretty interesting things happen. So I'll wait for you guys. I'll have some more water. Sometimes it takes a few rounds before we start to see a bit of a shift. But you will come to a shift in your energy, a shift in the way that you perceive these people, this corporation. And it's not to say that you suddenly agree with them and you think that it's totally okay. Not at all. But a few things happen, feeling their desperation because it's about their livelihood. Okay, beautiful, you've hit the nail on the head. Often what starts to happen is it's like we see through the matrix once we do a few rounds of this tapping. It's like we release the overwhelming judgment and anger, and we can start to see maybe their humanness. Maybe they're operating, if it's a particular person, operating from a young age, like they're actually operating from the age of a teenager or a young child. Went from a 10 to a 5, feeling sorry, was feeling a 7. Okay. And when we really look at the shadow and use this sort of a process with tapping, we start to see, it's like we see through the lines, we pull the curtain apart and we start to see things for how they might really be. If you've chosen a corporation this will have a very different energy. You might start to see it from a different perspective. You might start to see it from a space that maybe it's more of a spiritual space. Maybe it's more of a, maybe this has to happen. Maybe this has to happen to illustrate the system that we're all caught up in at the moment. Maybe people need to experience this in order to recognize what it takes to be sovereign. I feel saddened and sorry, okay? And often what happens is there's some compassion, and Julie, you've hit the nail on the head. Compassion starts to release from the heart. Often when we feel that sorry, it's like we can feel the compassion. And this is like the layers underneath the layers underneath the layers, all right? So what we really need to focus on, but need to integrate here. Actually, we're going to do some more tapping. Okay, so final round. Alrighty, taking another big deep breath in. I can see this through a new light. I can see coming from desperation. This is all about their livelihood. And I act sorry for them and saddened. And I can see that there are a lot of people out there who do nasty things in the name of money and who do nasty things to get the sale, and greedy and dodgy and pushy things and manipulative things. And I'm open to understanding that I can go about sales in a completely different way. And just because I'm selling something in my business does not mean that I'm selling my soul. Does not mean that I am greedy as well. Does not mean that I am manipulative, that I am pushy, that I have no integrity. I can see that my sales shadow has had me collapse, potentially, sales with manipulation, sales with no integrity or no morality. From a subconscious perspective, perhaps. And I'm open to releasing that today. I'm open to releasing 100% of my sales shadow, knowing that in doing so, I can allow my inner sales queen the space to thrive. I can allow her the space to shine in all of her glory. So I'm open to discovering my own way of doing sales in a way that is aligned with my values and in a way that feels soulful. And I call upon the energy of my sales queen to be with me over the next 5 days and beyond as I lean into creating a totally new paradigm around sales. I birth a completely new paradigm around sales, knowing that I say how it goes. And if anybody judges me for that, this says more about them than it does about me. Okay. So before I do that, once again, taking a big deep breath and just feeling into that. How does it feel in your body? Where are you on the scale of 1 to 10 of emotionally charged scale? Has that dropped even further for you? I'd love to know. And we're going to be really activating and opening up the space, opening up the channel for your inner sales queen to be here. But first of all, when we're doing any kind of shadow work, it's very powerful to acknowledge that what we judge in other people, we often judge because we feel unconsciously that either we are missing some light aspect of what they have, or there is something that needs to be healed within us That is always the case with your judgments. Everything is a mirror, and I'm sure the majority of you know this. Everything is a mirror. The only thing you're responsible for is your your interpretation, the way you make things, what you make things mean. And if you're getting particularly activated by someone or something, then that's a really powerful opportunity to look within and to see what is it that needs to be healed, or what do I feel I'm missing that I need a little dose of. So we have a spectrum, all right? So if on one hand we have greedy, arrogant, selfish, that's the dark side of that's the shadow side. On the other end of the spectrum, we might have confident, able to, really claim the transformation that you facilitate, able to confidently talk about what you do. So arrogance on one side of the spectrum, on the shadow side, is actually confidence in the light side. Let me know if this lands. So when we integrate the arrogant side of us, when we integrate the selfish side of us, and that means be totally okay with that. Really claim, there might be a part of me that feel, that comes across as arrogant or selfish. And the light side of that is actually really powerful, because the light side of that is confidence. When I've integrated my arrogant shadow, I feel confident to sell. I feel confident to share my mission and my message. I feel confident to invite people to work with me. I feel confident to stand in my entrepreneurial power. I feel confident to channel my sales queen. Does that make sense? Julie, sitting at a 5. The mirror really resonates with me. I'm ready to heal and grow from my shadow side, from my own judgments of others. It's such a powerful place to be. So if we integrate our dodgy used car salesman shadow, which means that we're not afraid of being perceived as that, we're not afraid of someone judging us as that. And a beautiful mentor of mine, she's in the group, I don't think she's here today. She says, this is Rosie, she says, it's like you're not hanging your hooks out for people to hang their jacket on. It took me a while to understand that. But our hooks is our fear of judgment. Our hooks are our fear of rejection, our fear of criticism, our fear of being perceived as dodgy. That's a hook. And when we have integrated all of the shadow stuff, when we haven't integrated all of the shadow stuff, those hooks are out there. People can just hang their shit on us and we take it on, right? We go, it's ours. It becomes ours. When we do the shadow work, when we claim our inner dodgy used car salesman shadow, when we claim our arrogant side, and integrate it. Doesn't mean you have to be dodgy, doesn't mean you have to be, and you're not. It just means that you're not leaving your hooks out for people to hang their shit on, for people to hang their jackets on. That resonates with you, that analogy. I really like it, because it's always going to be whatever we are afraid of is always going to be what we attract. It's like the mirror, Our judgments, our fear of judgments. Every time someone judges us, it creates a cycle of potential sabotage or potential self-judgment. So it's always this beautiful opportunity. So I'm going to just go back to my notes quickly. So I really want to hear from that feeling. How's that landing? Shadow work is very, very powerful. And obviously it's, the best container for shadow work is one-on-one work. But we can definitely still bring this curious energy into our sales shadow, into integrating our sales shadow. And I really want to invite you over the next 5 days to notice, as a part of integration, to notice what's your judgments of others. What are your judgments of certain people who do business maybe in a way that you don't like or that you don't resonate with? To ask yourself, what does that reflect about me? What do I maybe need to heal within myself? Is there a light side to those attributes that I feel I'm missing? It's a really powerful self-inquiry to go on, path of self-inquiry to go on. So let me know feeling. I'd love to hear. Thank you, Julie, for letting me know how that sat with you. For everyone else, I'd love to hear what's come up. How does this feel? How does this resonate with you? You're in a sales queen. In order for her energy to be fully here in all of her glory, she has to have integrated the sales shadow. So over the next 24 hours, you might notice that this starts to shift stuff for you. Yeah, it might be uncomfortable. That's okay. Bring that light curiosity energy in as well. It might be really enlightening, and that's amazing. So whatever insights you're having, and this goes for the whole 5 days, whatever insights you're having, I invite you to start to write them down. This goes for dreams that you're having at nighttime, or if you're having naps. And also, if you're having any synchronistic nudges to act, okay? So if you're having any intuitive nudges, any synchronistic nudges, if there's any part of you that's going, okay, I think that would be a good idea. I might try that. I might experiment with that. I might reach out and talk to that person. Then I invite you to really take action. Like I said at the beginning of our training, it all means nothing if we're not taking action and implementing, okay? And we can get caught up in what can often feel like really luxurious healing work and, looking at the past and healing the past, and that can be really powerful and, really very important to do. It's also really important to look forward to what I call heal forward as well. And this means healing forward into action, taking action, moving and connecting in with the future versions of us who are doing the work, who are doing the action, taking on the action, doing whatever it requires to reach your goals. Ness, makes sense. The mirror of life is powerful. This brings up fear for me. Okay, tell me, Beck, what's the fear? What is that? If that fear could speak, what would it say? So the integration process over the next 24 hours is going to be really powerful. If you feel like doing some more tapping, please. It's an amazing, amazing tool to use. I like to use journaling and then tapping on what I write. That can be really powerful as well. And just remembering that, our inner sales queen is going to be starting to rear her energy, all right? When I really connect with her, she feels really powerful. She feels really like she knows what she wants. She's really decisive. She doesn't muddle around in indecision. She's very, very potent. Her energy is magnetic. This is such a powerful energy to cultivate in business, especially in the online space, because our energy shines through in our content. It shines through in our lives. That's why it's so important to show your face, to speak, to actually share your mission, share your message. When your inner sales queen is activated, she oozes magnetism. She oozes charisma. She's really, really powerful. So I'd love to hear, first of all, what is that brought up for you? I know a few of you have said that really resonates. Beck, that brings up fear for you. Totally okay. So there's a phrase that I like to use. It's called dancing with your fear. Dancing with your fear. The only thing, I don't know who said it, but I love this phrase. The only thing fear is fear itself, all right? But fear can be very powerful. When we invite it in, when we invite it to the table, when we ask it if it wants a drink, when we pull up a chair next to it and we ask it, what does it want? What do you want from me? What are you afraid is going to happen? What are you trying to protect me from? Is the best question that you can ask your fear. It's a fear of change. I get scared of moving forward because it is different. It's a core thing for me, and I have had to push through it multiple times throughout this last healing year. Every time I think it's through, it pops up its head again. Yeah, okay. So my immediate feeling about that is that there's a lot of base chakra and nervous system work maybe to be done. Doesn't necessarily have to be a lot, but if it's that fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear of uncertainty, I would like to know, I feel like there might be something underneath it, a fear that is underneath it. Maybe it's a fear of abandonment. Maybe it's a fear of, often with first chakra and nervous system fear, it goes right back to thousands, millions of years ago. Yeah, millions? Yeah, that works. When we were living on the plains in tribes, right? And we needed the we needed the protection of our tribe to survive. So first chakra fear is often very much to do with abandonment, to do with rejection, to do with being cast out on my own. And when we are in business, we need to start to show up, to speak, You know, everyone says you've got to get to the core of your mission. You've got to share your truth. You've got to, you know, go live and share what it is that you're here to do and invite people in. And for me, I had to deal with this in a big way. That looked like talking about chakras and money mindset and making money and, you know, energy work and healing. And that was like really, really frightening for me. I thought it was going to be too kooky, that people would think that I'm crazy if I was to really be authentic. So I'd love to hear how this is sitting for you, Beck. And so in that, there's a lot of beautiful healing that can be done when we recognize that, you know, our sense of belonging is within. It actually doesn't revolve around other people, doesn't revolve around anything external. It is something that we cultivate within ourselves. But yes, there definitely is. I'm being guided to work through it, but it's a past life issue, I believe, and it's murky. Okay, and there's obviously so much in that as well. So much. Past life stuff, I mean, it's huge, you know. We've got thousands of past lives that we've had. So it can really, we can bring all sorts of stuff in. So preparation for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be opening up the channel for the Sales Queen. This is our preparation for tomorrow. We're going to be at the same time tomorrow, 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, which is 12 p.m. Standard Time. And I think I said 7 p.m. Mountain Time if you're in the States. And we're going to be creating, birthing, channeling a new sales paradigm. So now that we've really cleared the old way, the way that we dislike, the way that we are afraid people are going to judge us as being associated with, we are now making space within our energetics to create a new way. So I'm super, super excited and super thrilled to have you to be joining me today, the next 5 days. Natasha's so excited for this week. Yeah, awesome. Me too. Alrighty guys, hashtag ISQ challenge. If there's any major insights that come up for you, I would love for you to create your own post and to start to get into this habit of speaking about our experiences, speaking about our insights, sharing our thoughts, sharing our opinion. This is really, really important, okay? Important in business, important when we're establishing connection with our soul clients, that we start to show up and share our face. And it's not that scary once we do it a few times. So use this container to practice, to have your nervous system start to integrate those feelings of fear of rejection, of, oh, people are going to judge me, whatever it is. Awesome. All right, I'll just have a quick more read. Melissa, great session. Thank you. Beck, love it. You're amazing. Changes in the air. Thank you, darling. And Mirror. Julie, thank you for sharing. Donna, thank you. Alrighty, guys. So much love to you all, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care.